So St. Petersburg has a lot of diverse opportunities for someone that's looking not only to live in a great neighborhood, but to be close to beaches and close to downtown and nightlife and parks and all of the amenities. And so I wanted to break it down today. I'm gonna be out about a little bit. I'm gonna show you some areas that I haven't talked about before. And then I'm going to show you on the map where I am and what I'm talking about. And it's really hot out, so I'm gonna do as much outside as I can, but we're gonna go back to the studio and I'm gonna show you on a map some areas that I really am really starting to fall in love with in St. Pete. It just keeps getting better and better over here. They just keep, renovating houses and regentrifying areas, and it's becoming such a cool place. And you're just 10 minutes to the beach. I'm over here in South Pasadena right now. I was just down in Terra Verde grabbing you guys some footage. And again, my voice is trying to come and go, but we'll see how it goes. And I just stopped because look at this beautiful view. And this is a house right next to me. Somebody lives there. And they have a boat slip, and that is the Intercoastal right there. And they can just jet right out to the Gulf. There are so many options around St. Pete, not just on the east side of St. Pete, but there's options also on the west side of St. Pete as you're going into the beach areas. And so I want to talk a little bit about that today. And I'm going to break it down with a map to show you what is actually St. Pete and what is actually Pinellas Park and where are the borders of all the areas so that you can understand it a little bit better. And there's some southern parts of St. Pete that get overlooked, but they're quite fabulous. Terra Verde is one of them. So we're gonna get after all of that right now. Hey everybody, I'm Emily. I'm a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Florida, and I live in the Tampa St. Pete area. My channel is dedicated to everything having to do with the west coast of Florida. Real estate, things to do, areas, schools, you name it. So if that resonates with you, appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And also, after watching this video, if you like it, giving it that thumbs up really helps me out a lot. Don't forget, I am a licensed real estate agent, so I can help you with your relocation needs. So hit me up, my links are below. You can email me, you can text me, you can call me, but better yet, you can jump on my calendar and we can have a 30-minute consultation and discuss your relocation needs, or if you're buying, selling, and the like. I don't do rentals though, just wanted to make that clear. So I wanted to kind of go over this bridge because I want to show you. I don't know if they'll let me, but I'm gonna walk around here. I really love South Pasadena Beach. I think if I was going to, I'm not ready to move to the beach, but if I was, South Pasadena Beach is an area that I really love. One thing, it's got condos, and they're affordable condos. You can still find affordability now in this area. So South Pasadena Beach. Also, I want to put on your radar Bay Pines. We're going to talk about Bay Pines. We're going to be talking about Terra Verde today. And I'm gonna talk about some areas that I may not have covered in some of my other videos. We're gonna pop those videos up here of some other areas in St. Pete I've discussed, but I'm trying to give you guys an overview of St. Pete as best I can. There's so many areas, there's so many different areas, there's so many different things. Like, this is a complete beach community here. You're gonna see some retirees, you're gonna see some, young families. Especially because most people right now want to live closer to the beach. They are going to actually, not mind if they're kind of walking around with some retirees. And when I say retirees, I don't mean old folks home. I mean retirement age. I'm saying 55 and over. Even though a lot of these communities, especially in the condos, are going to be your 55 and over, they're not all 55 and over. Or some of them have to have partial 55, like a certain percentage has to be 55 and over to constitute 55 and over. But anyway, if that's your bag, if you want 55 and over, then give me a call and we can talk about that further. But today, I'm just driving around and kind of showing you some of these other little nugget areas, some that are popping up on my radar, some that are starting to get turned over a little bit as St. Pete is growing and we're looking for other areas, right? Especially affordable housing. With the housing market being as crazy as it is and the prices going up and down and up and down, I'm trying to find you something in the middle, right? That will appease everybody. So bear with me. Again, voice is trying to go, and it's super, super hot. It is the summer, and let's see. Let me see where else I can take you. So let's get to it. So we're back in the studio. Yes, it was really, really hot today. So I wanted to get back here, and I'm not in my normal studio because my AC blew in the studio. So, hey, it happens. We live in Florida. We use our AC a lot. So this one thing I talk to people a lot about is making sure you service your AC yearly. I do mine on my birthday. That's the way that I always remember it, because you're going to need it. All right. So I want to talk about a couple of different areas on the map. I want to show you on the map, and then I want to show you on the MLS. All right. So really briefly, let's talk about where St. Pete actually is on this big boot to the west of Tampa, because I think there's a little confusion. The big cities that everybody talks about, obviously St. Pete, Clearwater, Largo, and I'm not sure, but some people may know about Pinellas Park. And then obviously we have the West Coast beaches. Now the West Coast beaches are not considered St. Pete Beach. St. Pete Beach is right here, and it's small. And then you have Treasure Island and Madeira and Indian Rocks and Indian Shores, and all the way up the West Coast here to Indian Rocks, Reddington, Madeira. So those are all little beach cities, okay? And then I'm going to talk about some of the beach cities that I think have some affordability if you want to be close to the water, but you don't necessarily want the hustle and bustle of being in those beach communities where all of the vacationers are. So keep that in mind. And then we're going to talk just briefly about where Pinellas Park is, because there is some availability in very good homes there, and there is shopping around it, and you're literally just 15 minutes from downtown St. Pete. But I wanted to talk a little bit more today about little parts of St. Pete that kind of fly under the radar. There's a little area here called Wildwood Heights. We're going to talk about South Pasadena Beach, and I'm going to talk about Bay Pines, which is up here, and give you just sort of a brief, and also, don't want to forget Terra Verde right here. Beautiful little island right here. So let's start in South Pasadena. So if I scroll out a little bit, you can see that South Pasadena is just like a really small little community to the west of Gulfport. Gulfport's an area that I've talked about before. Check out my videos. I definitely have a video where I talk about Gulfport. It's a wonderful little community. It used to be primarily retirees, and it's starting to turn over a little bit. And I think South Pasadena is coming around to that as well. What I like about South Pasadena is you've got all the beach access. You've got these little, you're on the intercoastal here. So you have a lot of opportunities if you want to get a condo, if you're looking to get an investment property, if you're looking to get that second home, a vacation home. South Pasadena has all of that to offer. Also for my boaters and my fisher people, it's a great area for that. And then you're also kind of right here, you see like the Walmarts, you have you have the Publix, lots of shopping. So you have a little bit more of that normal kind of living, but you're just literally bike ride to Sunset Beach, which is right over here, as well as St. Pete Beach. And so if you wanted to have that kind of lifestyle, like sort of a beach, slightly suburban lifestyle, I think South Pasadena has that for you. So let's go over to the MLS. So I did just like a little brief search. The criteria was from 200, 600K. It's really single family homes. So if we're looking at South Pasadena right now, the green little houses are what's currently available on the MLS. So just so you know, you could get, now this is a small little unit. It's a 3-3, it's 1620 square feet. Actually, that's not that small. And it's 559 square feet. Let's take a look at what it looks like. It's a 1979 build. It looks like it has a little lake view. And look how close you are, by the way, to the water. How fabulous. Want to get an inside shot. Ooh, vaulted ceilings, clean. Beautiful home. I would live here. And look at that patio view. So if you're not necessarily right on the water, you could get a water feature view and be quite happy under 600K. And if we go a little inland, the price is going to drop a little bit. And let's take a look at this one. So this one's just a 2.2, but it's got a larger square footage than that other one. It's 1729 square feet, and it is 574.9. And it is a 1957 build. And they've got a few updates, smallish kitchen. It's a pretty decent house. Some little upgrades here and there, not bad. Especially at that price point, and great little patio. Looks like there could be, room for a pool if you wanted to add that in. So again, under that 500 range, you could be back towards the beach. You're just a little bit more inland. And you're right there next to the Pasadena Golf and Yacht Club. So for all of my golfers and water people, again, South Pasadena, you really can't beat it. Now we're going to take a look at Bay Pines. So in relation to South Pasadena, call it South Pasadena Beach, but South Pasadena, it's just a little northwest. So it's between Jungle Terrace, which I've talked about before in videos. I love Jungle Terrace. So you've got options. You've got South Pasadena. So you've got this whole corridor right here that I think has a lot of options, and you're close to the beach. Again, for my beach people, it's summertime. Everybody's beach focused right now. You're just a bridge away from Madeira Beach, which is again one of my favorite beaches. So Bay Pines is very similar to South Pasadena in my opinion, because you're just on the other side, you're on the intercoastal, and you've got a lot more. You've got the grocery shopping, you've got the hospitals, you've got the kind of, again, that normal suburban life. And so what could you get over in Bay Pines? What's the price point? Well, again, you've got some options there under 600. Let's just even look at this 85, I'm sorry, just for the heck of it. It's a 1973 build. It's a 2.2. It's 1,400 square feet. It's 385, y'all. Very quaint. Looks like a little villa. Great patio. Cute kitchen upgrades. Very nice. So again, if you're, an empty nester and you're looking to get closer to the beach, but you don't really want to be paying those beach premiums, but you want to be close, you can bike right away. This is an option. And again, under 400K, I think that's pretty great. And let's just go a little bit further in here. Let me go to this 450. This is a traditional Florida style ranch home. What I love is they've kept the architecture and they've just sort of upgraded it a little bit. So it's a 1958 home. It's $450,000. It's a 2.2 and it's 1,400 square feet. So you're a little bit more expensive than the one I just showed you, but you can see why. It looks like it was completely gutted. Beautiful inside. And again, you're a little bit more inland, but you're right there with the bridge to get you over to the beach side. Not a bad option in my opinion if you're looking to be closer to the water. So let's keep moving. Now I want to move on to Tierra Verde. If I scroll out on my map, I just want to give you a little idea of where it's located. It is the southernmost tip of St. Pete, even more southern than obviously the Greater Pinellas Point. It is a little key that drops off here at the end, and then you have Fort DeSoto State Park, which is down here, which is a beautiful park, by the way. So it's got a great beach, great dog park, and you can take a ferry and go over to Egmont Key for great snorkeling. Just a little heads up. There's also Shell Key, which is also great. But the great thing about Tierra Verde, for those of you that are again looking for, a vacation home, or, you're looking for, downsizing into more of the retiree lifestyle, but you're still active, I think Tierra Verde is a great option. It's expensive, not gonna lie, but if you've got the money to spend, I would spend it in Tierra Verde all day. You're again right by the Sunshine Skyway. You just go right over this little bridge here. You can go right down the Skyway if you wanted to head into say Sarasota or Bradenton. And then you can head right back up into 275 and be in downtown St. Pete. It's probably, I would say, maybe a 20-25 minute, depending on the time of day, drive into downtown St. Pete. And what I do love about it is it is it is island life. So there are, you can see obviously the Marriott's popping up here, and I've been to Billy's Stone Crabs, great little seafood restaurant. There's not a ton on this little island, so you would have to go kind of inland to get to your shopping. But I can say that I saw a bank, there's a 7-Eleven, there's a yoga studio, there's a Subway, sandwich shop. I do believe there's a grocery store. If not, there is a local sort of, mom and pop grocery store. So what can you get in Terra Verde? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I set my criteria at $1 million and under. And by the way, there are homes over $1 million here. Obviously, there is also a $14 million home. But if that's you, give me a call. I'll show you that house all day long. But I wanted to show you, again, some of these little areas. So there is an area that I drove right here. This is called Cabbage Key. It's not popping up on the map. Well, there it is, Cabbage Key. Cabbage Key. And this neighborhood right here is really stunning. Mansions on the water. They're gorgeous. But if you're looking for something a little bit more affordable, if you're not looking for a single family home, you're primarily going to find more condos and townhomes along this drag right here that leads up and down Terra Verde's island. And some of this over here, by the way, this is Paso Grill. Let's talk about Paso Grill. Paso Grill is another wonderful beach, and you get the access to it from this side of Terra Verde. So if my boaters, you're gonna love it because there's some private beaches along here, and then obviously you're look at you, you're right there into the Gulf. So I personally love Terra Verde. Would love to retire over here. Let me just show you something. So this is a 3-3. It's a little over 2,000 square feet. It's $995. It's currently available. It's been on the market like 85 days. There's a very specific buyer for this kind of property. Again, we're talking about my investment people, my vacation people, second home, empty nesters, those that are looking to, kind of structure their life a little bit more around relaxation, sunshine, boating, and fishing. This, they've done a great job with. I think it's just going to be a very specific kind of buyer. Beautiful home. So under $1 million, 3-3 on your own little island. So what can under $600K get you in Terra Verde? Well, it can get you a 2-2 with 1110 square feet. Let's see what this one looks like. It might actually have a water view. Island Living waterfront community. So this is going to be our traditional vacation home. It's a 1980 build, but it looks like they've done some really great upgrades to it. I'm not so sure it's got a view. And again, a bunch of these condos do have some lovely views. Hold on. Not necessarily a view of the water, but it's still a great home. So again, if you're looking for that vacation property, I'm trying to find you one that's got a water view. Let's take a look at this one. Again, we've got a 2-2 with 1135 square feet. It's $895K. Look at that shot. Let me just. So these are 1982 little condo live-in. Nice upgrades. Let's see, do we have a view? Well, nice sized bedrooms, closets, great guest rooms when you're having your family over. There we go. If I open this up, can you see it? Yep, there we go. Making sure you can see it when I open it up. Wonderful little patio, and you're gonna see these screens. These are great. These are electric screens, so they go up and down. So that way you have access to the outdoor, because it looks like there's a stairwell here down to the boats. Yep, right there. This is fabulous. And you're staring at that beautiful intercoastal water right there. How great is that? So that staircase takes you down to the pool, and I bet you money there's a boat slip there and got your name on it. Storage for all your toys. Really great community. And by the way, I just want to mention too that Terra Verde is very quiet. So if you're looking again to not be in the hubbub of the beach vacationers and you want your own little oasis, I think Terra Verde is got it in spades. And just to add to all of this, let's add another little condo in here. It's a 3-3, 1986 build. It's $650 and it is 1475 square feet. What you got for me? Nice pool. All our pools are gonna, look at that big boat. How great is that? Beautiful pool, well kept. It's a little dated, but of course it would be at that price. What I want to know, great closets, by the way. Girl loves her closets. I want to see if I can. It's 2-story. Partial views. Partial views. It's still, though, if you're not worried about being right there on the water, $650, not too bad. So let's head back over to more on the, we're on the west part of St. Pete. Now let's head a little bit over to the east. And I want to show you a little area that a girlfriend of mine has a new listing. This house is beautiful, and it's in an area that's getting revamped. And so let me show you. Okay, so now I'm in an area called Wildwood Heights near Perkins, and it's just south of Jordan Park. So it's south of the Grand Central District and just west of downtown, and it's in a little nugget area. You are like 5 minutes from downtown. And I wanted to show you this property behind me, and I'm gonna do a bigger shot here in a minute. But this house has been completely gutted. My girl, Jackie, this is her listing, and she's actually gonna start renovation on that home as well. So what they're trying to do over here is some of these homes that are, or areas, I should say, that are starting to turn over, like I've mentioned. This area is completely a wonderful area. And over the years, it has had, a different feel, but it's starting to turn around. And so that house, I think, is lovely. Just some specs. It's a 3-2. It's about 1950 square feet, and she's listing it at $589. And it has a brand new fence, and there's, I think, space in the back for a pool. So again, under that $600K threshold, you can live in St. Pete and just be minutes from downtown. But it's not a big developed area just yet. This part that's really south of that Grand Central area is just starting to kind of get turned over a bit. It's a quiet neighborhood. I'm walking around, it's quiet. There's a nice little house right here. The neighborhood looks pretty good to me. And as I'm driving around, there's some houses that nobody has taken care of. And that is what you're gonna see in St. Pete. Here's the thing about St. Pete. I think what people misunderstand is they think everything is the same in St. Pete. Every street is different, every house is different, every area is different. It's just a matter of what vibes with you. But if you are looking for diversity and a little bit more of, again, like I mentioned earlier, you want to be in a diverse area with lots of activities, the culture, music, that sort of thing. St. Pete is really where it's at. And you're also, like I said, you're 10 to 15 minutes to the beach. And you might have to sacrifice not being in the hip and trendy places right now, but I'm gonna tell you what, in the next couple of years, this area is gonna be hip and trendy. Mark my words. All right, let's keep moving. People ask me all the time about St. Pete and different areas because, as you can even see on this map, and again, check out my videos of St. Pete where I go a little bit more in depth on some other little neighborhoods. There are a lot of little nugget communities around here. And it's hard to know where to go, and I try to guide you as best I can. I try to tell people to stay on the east side of 275. You're going to find a lot more that you're going to enjoy on this side. As we are seeing St. Pete grow and revamp, I'm starting to see a lot of communities like Distant Heights starting to have a little bit more going on. And obviously with Kenwood right here, and I've talked about Kenwood and Old Northeast, as well as I've talked about Allen Five Points and Magnolia Heights and St. Pete Heights. We're starting to see those areas get revamped. So again, going south, as you see, you've got the pier right here. You've got United Central and Grand Central over here. And you've got right here at 275 where it kind of does a little hook. You've got this area called Jordan Park, but it's really Wildwood Heights. It's just a small little area. This area is starting to really turn over. And I'm going to tell you, as I drove into it, I was on First Street. Let me get to First. So as you're driving from the west side of St. Pete through First Street right here, this area right in here is really starting to look great. I'm not going to lie. Great little neighborhoods, lots of shopping, looks like Normalville. And then what happens is here, and you've got historic Kenwood, which is also helping with the real estate market in that little area. It's bleeding down, right? So all of the areas surrounding historic Kenwood right here, United Central, everything in this corridor is going to start getting revamped, right? Because people are looking for more affordable living, but close to all the fun. Look how close you are to downtown St. Pete. This is Central Avenue right here. Pier is right here. You could bike ride, basically, from this area. So I just wanted to point out, there are going to be some areas that may not look as pretty to you, or, you know, I won't go into it, but you have to make those decisions on your own. I'm going to say I love this Wildwood Heights area. It's starting to turn. People are starting to sell their houses. Investors are coming in. They're starting to switch things over a little bit, and you're going to start to see more growth. And so if you're looking for an area, and I mentioned this before, if you're looking for an area that's going to be part of the big growth happening in St. Pete, where you're going to get more value out of your property, this is going to be that area. So keep your eyes peeled for this area. It's going to be hit or miss, not going to lie, but I still think that it's an area that you need to put on your radar. So I'm going to try to continue to make some more St. Pete videos, because like I've mentioned, there's just so many little areas, little boroughs, little communities within St. Pete, and they're all starting to really grow. And with the way the housing market has been going, people are selling their houses and life events happen, right? And people are moving and coming and going, and investors are coming and revamping everything. So again, there's lots of opportunity in St. Pete. I really think you're going to be walking into some equity if you choose St. Pete as a place to live. Don't forget, if you need an advocate on your side to help you navigate these crazy waters of St. Pete, I'm your girl, but I can't help you if you don't reach out to me. So we've been helping so many people on YouTube. It's been so much fun, and it's been a lot going on, and I want to help you as well. So click my links below, but the best thing to do is to jump on my calendar so that we can have a 30-minute consultation, and I can dive in a little deeper to your needs and guide you accordingly. So again, everybody, I hope this video was helpful. There's so much to show you. I try to break it down as best I can. And don't forget to comment below if you have any questions. And until next time, I really appreciate you checking out my channel. And until next time, have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.